Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It is a really cold one today. I think it's like 20 degrees, maybe a little colder. It was like 7 yesterday. As you can see, we got a little bit of a snowstorm, but more importantly, it's a lot of ice. And so I figured this was a great time to try out this engine block heater. I didn't even know it was really a thing until the other day. I got it serviced and they said, hey, you got a recall. We fixed the engine block heater. There's Franklin. Fixed the engine block heater for you on a recall, and so I was kind of surprised by that. As you can see here, truck is just full of ice. I mean, look at the antenna over here. There's just so much ice on the truck. So really cold day, a lot of moisture in the air, and I'm not sure what it'll do. You know, most trucks that have engine block heaters that are, or you know, most people use engine block heaters are for diesel trucks. These gas trucks don't really need them, but you know, I wanted to make a video since a lot of people have these F150s, maybe didn't know about it like myself, or are just kind of curious to see if it does anything. So it's gonna be a really quick one for you today. We're gonna start it up, see what it sounds like, see if it does anything different, check out the gauges inside and see if you know, how quickly they warm up. So engine block heater on an F150, you know, kind of a unique thing. Let's go ahead and start this thing up. We'll remote start it and get the keys here for you guys. So lock it. Whew, it actually sounded pretty dang cold there. It's kind of interesting down here. You can see these vents opening, and then I think they'll close back up. So there's some down there, and then there's some deep in the grill here. It's kind of hard to see, but as you can tell now, they're all closed up. Try to keep some of that cold air out while it's heating up. Like I said, there's some in there that they open and close the same way. All right, so it kind of sounded a little delayed there, actually more than it normally does, so that's kind of weird. We got the opposite effect. Granted, usually when I remote start the truck, when it's really cold like this, I'm inside the house, so maybe that is normal when it's really cold like this, but you know, it started up without any issues. It's purring right along. The engine sounds good, actually. So yeah, you know, started up fine. The startup was a little interesting, but it does sound like it's running really good. Maybe it is kind of warmer than normal. So let's jump in and check out what it says on the inside. Surprised the door would even open. All right, so let's go ahead and hit the start button. I checked it out yesterday just to see what the gauges would say, and this is one thing I don't like about the Fords, is you can see the transmission temp and the coolant temp gauge. They don't actually give you any numbers, so you know, it's just all the way to the bottom. I don't really know what that means. You know, my last truck, it would say like transmission temperature 4 degrees or something like that, but as you can see, it's about 13 degrees out and pretty dang a lot of moisture in the air, so I'm sure it's really cold with, you know, wind chill and everything. So sat here for a second after that last clip, probably 2 minutes or so, and you can see the coolant temp actually has moved already, moving along quite a bit actually. I mean, it's probably moving as we speak here, so clear difference there in the coolant gauge. Trans gauge, not so much what you expect, but the coolant gauge is already kind of creeped up there quite a bit. So I would say that that's kind of a, you know, I was sitting there in that last clip saying you didn't really see a difference, but I'm just watching it and yeah, it's still moving. I mean, it really has been maybe 2 or 3 minutes and it's moving right along. So I'm gonna say that the engine block heater might actually make a difference. I already got a little bit of warm air flowing through the gauges. It's 850, I think in that last clip you can see. I mean, that was only like 3 or 4 minutes ago when I showed you that last clip, and here it is again. Last time I'll show you guys, but moving right on up on that coolant. So you can hear the air kind of going already. So you know, I'm gonna say maybe it actually works. So pretty interesting result there. I really didn't expect it to do anything, kind of like I was talking about when we first got in. I mean, I didn't expect the gauges to show anything, any heat in the truck or anything like that. It definitely sounded pretty good once it fired up. It sounded like it was running pretty good and healthy. But as you see there, you know, just 3 or 4 minutes, the coolant temp and the engine were already heating up very, very quickly. The air was turning on. I already felt some warm air, so maybe it is worth it. I'm gonna say if you have the feature and it's really cold like this, go ahead and plug in that engine block heater. It might actually help you out quite a bit. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit of a different type of video and shorter than normal, but thought it was kind of interesting. And to be honest with you, like I said before, the results really actually kind of surprised me. I think it really actually did help the truck heat up quicker. I'm not going to plug it in every single time it gets cold, but maybe, you know, when it's really, really cold, we have these crazy, you know, huge cold snaps here where I live. Maybe I will plug it in from now on. Again, it definitely seems like it was a positive impact on the truck, which is always good. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure to subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.